All right, so the MAGA base is extremely upset with Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel and number 2 at the FBI, Dan Bongino. And yesterday, I meant to do a TikTok about this, but I forgot. Steve Bannon was on his podcast and he lost his shit. He had a guest on there, a guy named Jack Posobiec, who I think used to test urine samples in the Navy, was a super huge proponent of Pizzagate, another conspiracy theory guy, and who had said last year or the year before at CPAC something along the lines of, yay, white people are going to take over again, and wanted to have something called a white boy summer. That gives you an idea of who we're talking about here. So Steve Bannon was voicing the concerns of the MAGA base yesterday on his podcast, just expressing fury that there had not yet been mass arrests of people from the Biden administration, people from Biden DOJ, like Jack Smith, and prosecutors, and Dr. Fauci, and, you know, all of their conspiracy theory bullshit come to life. And he was like, we're not going to wait forever. It's like this stuff has to land. And so today, Steve Bannon, today is Wednesday, April 23rd. It's about 4:45 p.m. West Coast time. Steve Bannon had as his guest a guy named Mike Davis, who he formerly clerked for Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch. I think that was before Neil Gorsuch was on the court. But Mike Davis is also a complete lunatic. He thought he was going to be Donald Trump's attorney general and acted as such on Twitter during the campaign and said just all kinds of incendiary and threatening things that pretty much guaranteed that he would never, ever become attorney general. But anyway, Mike Davis is very connected to the MAGA world and all of these people. So he went on Steve Bannon's War Room podcast today to reassure Steve Bannon and the MAGA base. And he had the following to say: I just had several meetings at the Trump Justice Department. It's the United States Department of Justice. It is not the Trump Justice Department. It's not a fucking Trump hotel. It's not Trump steaks. It's the United States Department of Justice. Anyway, I met with Attorney General Pam Bondi. I met with the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, Chad Maisel, Stanley Woodward, all the senior people at DOJ. And he said, and I wanted to reassure the War Room posse that they are very much on top of what's happening in our country. And just because you're not seeing criminal indictments right now, that does not mean that they're not coming. They are very much incoming. And you know what? I hope they are. I hope that these potatoes get indictments against Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Anthony Fauci, James Comey, all of the J6 committee, all of the members of Congress who were involved in impeaching Donald Trump. I hope these guys get indictments against every one of them, because the rest of the country is going to be like, are you fucking kidding me? And then Bannon interjected. And the word is from Pam and the team is that, hey, we're not going to screw any of these things up. We don't want to hurry it. Things are happening. Stand by. And Mike Davis came back in and said, yes, justice is definitely coming. Let me reassure you, justice is coming, and that there's going to be accountable for this unprecedented republic-ending lawfare where the Biden Justice Department was politicized. There's going to be accountability for a lot of these crimes. It takes time to build these crimes. FBI Director Kash Patel is there. He's doing a hell of a good job. So is Dan Bongino, his deputy. Justice is coming. So just because we don't see it publicly does not mean it's not happening. I know what's happening. Bannon rejoiced at the news I think it makes people feel a lot better, right? Because we only have a certain amount of time to take down the deep state. I don't need to tell you that. We're burning daylight. We want action, action, action. And Mike Davis said, look, there's a difference this time. Our Attorney General actually has balls this time. I was not aware that Pam Bondi was trans. Unlike the last two, this one actually has balls. And it's Pam Bondi. He loves Pam Bondi's balls. He mentioned, well, it's amazing. It takes a woman to have balls. Mike Davis discussing Pam Bondi's balls on Steve Bannon's podcast. And that's how you know that these people are serious, hard-hitting go-getters of the highest levels of competence. And, you know, Pam Bondi's balls.